Hello and welcome back to PKR TV with moi, Ashley Hames, and toi, James Sudworth.
Oh, you're great at French.
Yeah, not
that
too
was
bad.
French, right?
James 666, you're otherwise known as, and you're playing in this sit and go, the pro sit and go.
Yeah, it's going really well at the moment. There's not been too many bad. Actually, I think I've seen a single bad play.
Yeah.
All the pros have been playing fairly well, and so have the other players. So it's really nice to watch.
Yeah, nice to see. There's you, Bain, and Sophia Lovegren, well bet, still in there. The three pros who've started, yet to be donked out. Amazing stuff. Let's see who wins.
New hand.
Well, new hand indeed. There's Bain on the small blind. Mirage drive on the big blind and coming up on the inside is Scarface. Washed blue with Ace Jack. Keeney is yet to show, and James 6-6 and Wellbet in the rear. Keeney with Kings. What is going on here, James? It's like a horse race, but with donkeys instead.
Ashley, just for the point, gets paid a penny a word, he says on here. So
Keeney making the only move possible, really. He's going to get called.
Yep, definitely.
And let's see, can he fade the ace? These guys are not pros, but they are giving as good as they get.
There we go.
The jack is no good for Welsh Blue, and Tikini, with a very nice looking hand, is going to stick around for a few more hands. He's in 7th place. There's 8 of you still left. Now, this has been going on for a while. James, in your little interview beforehand, you mentioned, well, you gave yourself 6 out of 10 for your sit-and-go competency.
Yeah, well, that's basically because I don't play many online tournaments. I used to, and I've just given them up. I only play cash online now.
Yeah.
And I also don't like playing 10-handed.
Okay.
I much prefer playing 6-handed, which is good when the sit-and-go gets to that stage, but then you're short-stacked and I like playing deep-stack, so it's really not my game.
Bain raising it up. He's always liable to get called, and he's only doubled that big blind.
Here comes
so
the
it
flop.
smells like quite a big hand.
Yeah, it's. I mean, nowadays it used to be that it would always be a monster if you raise small, but now people have got so used to just raising like 2.5x or 2. It really doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. Well, Bain, what's he going to do here? I think. What now? What for Mistazzi? All in. Just
yeah,
moves.
it's a standard.
Yeah.
It's a standard move all in. He could check call. There's no point sort of like check raising. It's the same thing as going all in. So you may as well either check call and definitely get it in on the next street, regardless of the card that comes. Or
And in that instance, kind of surprising in a way, because we'd seen Bain call off a couple of grand earlier. And in that spot, he decides, well, I'll let this hand go, even though he knows he has a couple of overs.
He knows he only has 6 outs, so it's really he's got the 2,000 extra core. It's just really he doesn't want to waste chips as much as he wants to gamble.
Okay,
he doesn't really want to waste chips.
Okay, that's an interesting way of looking at it. So in the spot like that, he just knows he knows where he is, really.
Yeah.
Before he was like, well, just give it a punt.
Yeah, well, before it was pre-flop, and he knew that he was going to be like 35, 40. Well, he might have been 20%, who knows, but...
So one of them is a gamble, and one of them is a slightly more thoughtful gamble. Or
It's not really a gamble. Post-flop there, he's rarely going to call off just with the overcards.
Yeah, no, you said it right, an educated fold rather than just a gamble. Yeah, absolutely, that's it. That is what we're talking. Here are you, James, and that's a pretty good flop for you.
This is my favourite sort of flop. Top pair and a backdoor draw is awesome.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
4th Street.
With a sort of straighty, flushy kind of thing going on, and top pair. You like this all the way, don't you?
Love it.
Well bet. If you check and well bet bets, what do you do here?
I doubt I would check here. I'd usually bet because now all the draws going Queen King, 10 Queen, flush draw, etc. And I don't think she's got the jack. She might have the 9. She's paying me off. You know.
Okay, she goes all in here. Do you fold?
Probably not.
Really?
I'd probably still call because she's not checking back that flop with an overpair. So unless she's rivered like a set of 9s, which I still don't think she's going to check raise, I definitely think I'm good. When she calls here, I definitely think I'm good.
Okay.
Right now, I'd put her on like the 9 or a flush draw or a straight draw.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So I would assume I'm still going to value bet this because I think my jack's good.
Okay.
But the problem about value betting this sort of hand is that you're pushing out all the draws that have missed. And also, your kicker, if someone else has a jack, you're splitting or losing. Because if they have a jack, it's a better jack. So it's kind of like you have the 9 with an ace kicker.
Why do you not just check call there?
I could check call, but I'm losing out on value on a 9. I genuinely thought she had a bit of it, but not the jack. So I thought I'd get value. Leading out there, if you get called by a jack, you're going to be beaten because it's usually with 10 jack, jack queen, jack king, which has got better kicker. But So basically, your hand then becomes ace 9.
Yeah.
It becomes the best 9 or 10s, which means
sure.
it doesn't beat a jack, but it beats every other hand. So
Okay.
it's still worth a bet. But
Bane again here going for the min raise, kind of, which we see so much more of. I mean, you were mentioning it doesn't really matter 2.5x or whatever, but
Fold.
this min raise is just so like in vogue, baby.
yeah,
It's
it also
ridiculous.
gets people to call you as well, and
Yeah.
you've got position. So you want people to call with position with a hand that is quite good.
Yeah.
Check.
Well, bet will like that flop, I think. There's kind of bits and pieces for her.
There's not really much for her to do out of position though.
I bet.
But a raise
I
here, do you
call.
not? Yeah, I like that call, weirdly,
Here
from
comes the
Wellbet. I
turn
just
card.
think this is looking attractive for her. Not so much now.
No, I think the call there is you're out of position, so it's not like you're floating in position so that you can represent
check.
something.
Yeah,
if
I
she
just-
checks now, Ben's probably going to check back and stuff.
I just
and
think
what's she
if a
going to do?
7 had come down, obviously a 4, 5 or 6. I think she had loads of cards to play
Yeah,
with.
but even then she might be behind, so she can't play it for her value. I think really
Yeah.
she either
I
needs to
bet.
just check fold or check raise. She does have a backdoor flush draw though, so maybe check call.
It's a good
See what
bet
happens on
that
the
from
turn.
Bane. I like that bet from Bane. See, if she'd have called that flop, I'd have been really like, I'd have played it very cautious now. Whereas Bane is just like, bang, in with another
Yeah.
bet.
Well, I think if she played it like this, she maybe yeah, there we go. She was going to say she maybe
Wow.
has to make a move here.
Wow, this girl, I'm telling you, folks, I've seen some of Wellbet's play. I've got to, I'm hats off to this girl.
Yep.
Seriously, she makes some moves where I'm just like, where did you pull that out from? The one
Especially
thing
being
about-
sexist from a
my
woman,
God.
they usually this is just something about women, female poker players that play nowadays are very tight and passive. Whereas Wellbet's just completely turned upside down and she's aggressive when she needs to be, and she
Yeah.
can make moves.
Obviously, look, it looks like genius because Bane didn't have a hand. He had king high in that spot. But I'll tell you what is it? That's irrelevant. What is, excuse me, what is relevant is being able to pull the trigger.
Raise.
Yeah.
And it's bloody hard to do, you know.
It's committing half her stack. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not just a check raise in a cash game.
Yeah.
It's half your stack, your tournament life.
And
And if it
also-
goes wrong, it really goes
Also,
wrong.
I'll tell you one thing that I've learned about playing, certainly something about playing with you and in that last Sit and Go we played, is I now try to make my bluffs make far more sense.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily bluff on the flop. I'll always call if I'm planning a bluff later, I'll always call it and then later set myself up for that re-raise. And
Yeah.
that's it gets believed
If,
so
your
much
if your
more.
bluff doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
people are going to call you. So you have to make sure, you have to just think, right, this 7-3 that I've got is actually
Yeah,
kings.
absolutely.
And just play them like they're actually
All
kings.
Yeah.
And then that's the best
Gotta
way to
go
bluff.
with it. Well, here we
Oh
go.
my
Wellbet's loving this.
She's left herself a dollar if she wants to fold, though, which is good.
Here's the flop.
Yeah, she was thinking about it for a second.
Here comes the turn card.
Well, she'll hate it if this
Here
deuce
comes
comes
the
out,
river.
but it won't, I don't think. There we go. Happy days. Wellbet really, on
game.
fire.
Yep.
My God.
Unlucky.
This girl is showing not just skill, but nice bit of timing, and she's now getting cards, and she's won twice
New hand.
the stack ahead of second place, which is Bane, and you're right behind her. The top 3 are the 3 pros, which I think says something for the PKR choice of pro. Wouldn't you agree, Colin?
Well, yes.
Colin joins us here, folks. Colin Morris, my usual commentary partner. Colin, I'm just saying, it's great to see the pros doing so well because it says that, at least PKR has some kind of coherent policy in choosing.
Well,
the
it's
pros.
good to see them do well in this game. As we mentioned in part 1 of this episode, this was a bit of a grudge match as far as our pros were concerned. They got whitewashed.
Annihilated, I think,
Yeah.
is the word. Well, Bane,
Dominated.
well, look at this. Bane with 9-10 and Wellbet with a far superior hand. That 9 comes out. Well, this is a world of pain because Wellbet's going to just slam all her chips in on this one if Bane bets.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Bane's also got the draw, but his draw's
His draw is no
pretty
good.
horrible.
Yeah, his draw is really bad.
Yeah, I mean,
I bet.
if I was Bane, I'd like to see. He's trying to make a move. to
Do you
represent
not
something
like his
there, but-
flush draw, James? if the 4th spade came out and you've got the 10,
Well, there
only
we go.
the king of spades.
You have the straight flush draw and everything.
Wellbet is really taking this by storm. Obviously, I just want to remind everyone that if I was still a pro and if I was playing this, I would have probably won it already. Wellbet's certainly taking her time. I'd have had this done and dusted by level 2.
Of course.
fold.
Sadly,
That's why we were all threatened by you, so you
I
just
raised.
had to go.
that's the reason.
That's
isn't
the
it?
reason.
Yeah, they begged us.
I would love
Ash.
to have heard the conversations in PKR Towers. Now, Ashley Hames, right? Shall we keep him on as a pro? Has he won any money? No. Has he lost any? Yeah, loads. Yeah, he's good. We'll definitely keep him on. Oh, God damn. Oh, well, those were the glory days for me, folks. But who knows what's around the corner? All I know is that basically, of a night out, I now have to borrow money off you, James, which is obviously...
Which I get paid back in loo roll.
Yeah, which I now paying you back in loo roll. Me and James met up in Vegas, and obviously I owed him a couple of $100. He said, "Don't worry about it. Just send me some luxury loo roll." Goodness knows why. Probably something to do with the fact his girlfriend's got. His girlfriend, the lovely Hannah, who hopefully is not listening.
Hannah,
right
I
now.
love you.
Yeah.
I fold.
Well, Welsh Blue putting it all in with Ace King
It's a
and well
standard
finding a
spot.
hand. Yeah, why
Absolutely
not?
standard.
Well,
When you get
flipping-
down to this sort of these stakes
comes the
now,
river.
it's really very. Oh, that's horrible. It's really standard
Oh my
sort of thing that
God.
goes on. There's not really many bad plays. You only
No.
get bad decisions whether you should call or push. That's all it is.
Unlucky.
Yeah, and also, a lot depends on luck at this point. Not
Absolutely.
necessarily with how you're playing the hand, but what the hell have you got in your hand?
Exactly.
What am
There's
I
very
being
little
dealt?
outplaying now. It's all down to picking
Yeah.
your spots to push, fold, call.
Yeah.
And that's
I
where it's
mean,
got
you're
Unlucky.
you're not struggling now. You've got 6,500.
Good
And
luck.
what are the blinds? 255. I mean, you're okay.
I'm
Yeah,
See,
I've got 20 big blinds, which is
Well-
kind of horrible because I can't really make any real plays. I can steal, and that's about it.
Well,
But
Bane doing exactly that.
Yeah.
But I like again. This is what I tend to do. I don't like being short stacked. If I'm getting anywhere near short stack, I just slam it in.
Yeah,
Anything
definitely.
suited, any connectors,
You have.
big king or whatever, slam it in. Why not?
20 big blinds is kind of horrible though, because when you're raising it jammed on, you still can't really call off with ace 10 and
Yeah.
stuff because it's too big. And what do you really do? You can't float. You can't play flops. So I'm just waiting here. I'm just trying to wait 4 hands or get
Yeah.
down a little bit so I can then start playing.
Well,
aggressive
Bane
jam.
now has got chips and he's still just pushing with ace 10.
Yep.
You're not going to think about this for too long.
No,
are
it's
you?
probably a
You
fold
know,
straight
You know
away.
he's got any aces and you're.
Well, I mean, he could easily doing a 10 jack and stuff. But even if I do call it, I am good. I'm only 60%, and there's just no point
yeah,
doing
there's
it.
no point for 400 chips or whatever. So 6 of you left. Welbet's still well in the lead, but you pros up there. What was it like at this point, James? A lot of people railing you, or what?
Yeah, there was quite a few railers, and it was quite fun actually.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Did you have your mates supporting you? And
Boss.
Yeah, a couple of friends came and,
Yeah.
and said their thing, and a lot of PKR forum guys came on and
all
were
in.
showing support for everyone. I had
Right.
a couple of abusers come on and abuse me. Or
yeah, was
all
Jamie Price there?
James Price, he's
Yeah.
far too big time
Yeah.
to watch anyone else play.
Jamie
he needs to be
Price.
playing 100, 200 no limit or singing in his pop band.
Yeah, well,
That's how big time he is.
Speaking of his pop band,
Yeah,
no gossip.
yeah,
I'm not really down with what the kids listen to today.
yeah,
I just sit at home with my 8 tracks.
yeah.
How are they getting on?
I'm not quite sure actually. I
Wembley
really don't know.
beckons.
I've not.
Well,
yeah,
be,
I think they're playing Wembley for their final tour. They're platinum selling already.
Yeah, Wembley's.
awesome.
When we say Wembley, what we mean is a tiny patch of grass near the toilets. That's where they'll be. No, well, what are they called? No gossip, excellent stuff there, and it's like doing a radio show. This with some sort of grumpy old man in the corner who goes by the name of
What do you
Colin,
mean grumpy?
who doesn't understand.
Now
I'm
here's
not
a
grumpy.
strange
Modern
call
society.
by Scarface.
Okay.
is.
4th Street.
It's a very strange, but he flops the nuggets,
Well,
which is nice.
flops it, and you must just be hating that.
Hating it. Well, I mean, he min raised to 600 and then stacked off for 15 big blinds or something. And
Yeah.
I was like, fair. Well, if you want to take the gamble, take the gamble. That's cool.
You
But
should see the hand gestures and face gestures that James is making. He's saying the magnanimous, nice things, but I don't
Yeah.
think he's thinking them.
Well, actually, looking back on that, that's quite a crucial hand for you because you're now way down.
Exactly. If I won that, I'm in second place. I can start playing really
Yeah.
aggressive poker, outplaying people and stuff. But now I'm down to
Unlucky.
nothing. And
Gonna push in here,
yeah, got to push it in there. There's no question about that.
I reckon.
All in.
It's
Well,
unlucky that
she's
I've
going
run
to
into
call you.
A7.
Here you go. This is a flip for your tournament life, fella. Good luck, James.
Here comes the turn.
Well, there's
There
the
it is.
king.
Here
Can you
comes
fade
the
that
river.
ace? There you go.
Yes, I can.
Happy days.
So,
So you're
so
delighted.
does that make you feel less bad about like losing to somebody else who
No,
made a
not
bad
at all.
move against you?
No.
When you made that bad move against Wellbet and one in one.
Well,
anyway?
this bad move against Wellbet was with 7 big blinds and was standard.
Oh, so you're
Can we,
defending the play.
security, can we
Yeah,
get this?
go on, Colin.
Can we get Colin
Go on,
removed,
Col.
please? Can we get this guy removed?
Love it. Love it. There he is. Colin, he's quiet, but I'll tell you, he's deadly. Rather like something else that happened here in part 1. Stacey with pocket nines. That's too small a raise for my liking.
Yeah.
I'd have liked to see
I think he should just
1200.
Mr. I think he's only got 10 big blinds here. I can't remember.
1200 or a jam, you
Yeah,
know.
I think he's just got to jam it.
Because now you stand a chance of Bane.
If yeah, I'm not so sure I like. Oh, she had 4,000. Okay, all right,
That's
that's
fair enough
yeah.
if it's well bet, but I think, well,
Oh.
God blimey, me Stasi is going to be thinking these damn pros. No, I was going to say 9 high won it, but the full house, obviously, that. Sorry, am I confused? Wasn't
Yes,
that,
you are.
That was a full house for...
Yes, it was a
for
full house
Wellbet,
for
yes.
Sophia Lovegren.
Yeah.
She had a pair of threes.
And the other chap
He had a
had
3 and a 10 and a 10.
The other guy had 3 pairs. There's nothing in this game for 3 pairs, folks.
I think we're starting to understand the holes in Ashley's game.
Colin, do you have your hand summary chart that we can
Yes,
get
it's
to
on the-
Ashley
well, it's on
again?
the
Oh, God, damn you all.
If, like Ashley, you're just learning how to play this game, you can hop on.
Do you know what? I'm not going to mention who this person is, but I was looking on the Hendon. Well, just watch this hand. Whatever, you all know the rules, folks. See who wins. I was on the
Unlike us.
I was on the Hendon Poker Mob thing the other day, and I was looking at. I looked up a name of a person that I taught them how to play poker, and saw their winnings over the last couple of years, and it was like $180,000, you know, and I was like, what? I'm like, Jesus Christ! I taught this bugger how to play poker. If you look at my stats, I won like $2,000 about 7 years ago. I mean, it's just appalling, and I'm just like, oh gee, can you lend us some money, geezer? You know, but there's not been a word or a sniff ever since.
So you're like the Broadway Danny Rose of the poker
That's
world.
it. Well, I tell you what, you know, if you want poker lessons and start earning thousands of dollars, come and say hi. But I'll tell you what, I want a share of the winnings this time. I want a contract, and it's going to be set in stone. As our well bets.
I would like to see Sophia raise here.
I'd like to see her take her bra off. No, sorry, excuse me. Yes, me too, James. I agree. Ignore all previous comments.
I didn't actually hear what you said. I blanked it out.
Good.
I've got this the button. I blank
Sophia,
out
if you're
Ashley.
watching this, excellent.
There we
play.
go.
Very nice.
See, this is good. I like this because she's doing the sorts of things I would do, and I like that
Yeah.
when people do what I do because I'm great.
Yeah, that's it. Scarface there in the mix
Yeah.
with you guys. So you got 3 pros and a non-pro who is doing his level best to try and squeeze out every last chip from you fellas. He's got braided hair and you've got a Hawaiian shirt and what looks like grey hair.
It's silver hair.
Silver.
Ashley.
Okay.
I'm all in.
Well, you're going all in with your king high.
Yep.
And it's about really...
That was a really exciting hand. That's, you know, when we pick out the highlights.
Yeah, that's the hand we look for.
That's the kind of stuff we're looking
But
for.
I'll tell you
kind
what,
of a-
that does illustrate is the fact that you're not prepared to sit there and get yourself blinded out.
There's no point.
You've got to shove it in.
Yeah,
You've got to go
actually,
for it.
in hindsight, it might have been good to think about it. Because Bane actually, I don't know if you can see it on here, got disconnected.
Right.
And this is a thing you should really watch out for in tournaments. If someone is disconnected,
Absolutely.
it means they can't play a hand. Therefore, they're just going to blind away. And I could have played pretty tight and just let those guys.
Well, this one, you have a premium
go.
hand. You've been called, though, and you've... that's unlucky for
Wow.
you. 2 pair, your ace
Oh,
on
there
the
we go.
river.
There we go.
James.
I think I can't remember. I would have been steaming then.
Yeah,
At that point, that
absolutely.
10 hit.
Well, Scarface making a pretty loose call there,
Yeah.
it's got to be said.
He's really been gambling. and-
You don't want to be calling off a lot of chips with
No.
king high, really. But
especially on the bubble.
But you do want to be shoving it in like you
Yeah.
just did with king 4 because it doesn't even matter if
You got
you're
the
up
fold
against,
equity.
you're up
Exactly.
against a pair of jacks or queens. Well, so
Yep.
what? You can hit your king.
Exactly.
It's all good. You got to slam it in.
Anyway,
So with this one, I would assume I'm going to be raising this I wouldn't be jamming this. I've got well over 20 big blinds now, so it's definitely a raise on the button there with position.
Call.
Slightly weak, though. I mean, it doesn't look great to me, that.
No, all I'm doing is raising the position, stealing blinds if I can, you know.
But you look quite like that flop.
Yeah, I love that flop, and I would like to see me c-bet this.
Yeah.
Let's see if I do. I want to predict if in advance. Well, not in advance. I've already played it.
In retrospect.
You know this.
Predict in retrospect.
Check out Colin with his dictionary.
You know this c-bet nonsense malarkey, all this like poker language you guys speak.
Continuation bet.
Yeah. So there's no such thing as a
For
G
people
bet.
who don't know. There is no such thing as a G bet. There is a G spot, I've heard. There is a... I think that's in poker. Is that in poker?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I noticed you mentioned your girlfriend Hannah earlier, the lovely and
I
talented,
bet.
but you didn't mention the fact that she's currently performing live.
Yeah.
Oh, my plug.
Yes, at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yeah,
What's the name
she's
of her
playing
show?
all... it's called Stripped. It's about the life of a stripper.
Nice.
And it's comedical. It's great.
love
It's fantastic.
strippers.
It's got great reviews so far. So go and see it. It's at the Gilded Balloon. My quick plug. Gilded Balloons at the Sportsman Hall, 4:15 every day.
Cool. Nice.
Well
one.
done, James.
Good luck to Hannah.
I dug you out of a hole there, bro.
You did. If I didn't mention that, she would have slapped me. She would have given me the
Well,
piles.
before you carry on, I want to just mention that Sophia Lovegren Welbeck just stole that pot off
She
you
just owned me, didn't
with
she?
ease. I have to say, if she comes out on top in this game, it is well deserved because she's shown me a little bit more than you guys. James,
Yeah.
I think your play has been excellent. Apart from this particular hand.
This was Jack 9 is definitely in
know.
the top half of the poker hands, and he had to call any hands with his
Yeah, I
size
was going to
stack.
say,
So
kind of the trouble is, James, is that you know he's going to call this.
and yeah,
What,
but
is
he
it
has
like
such
for
a small
20
stack.
more
He's out. It's
chips
on the
or-
bubble. He has to call, and Jack 9 is ahead of a lot of his hands that he's going to call.
Yeah.
And well, unless he's got aces, kings, or something like that, or tens. Actually, I'm not going to be dominated.
So it's kind of, you just got unlucky, right?
Yeah. It was just it's a pretty standard spot there. I could have let Welbeck. Welbeck would have done it if I didn't. I thought I'd take the chance instead.
Take the initiative, yeah, and go for it. Well, you're in there. This, I'm just probably going to shove it all in straight away.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to be raised calling this. I think if I had this hand with that size stack, I could just get it in. Yeah, definitely. But you know, I was probably just going to raise call.
Here you go. You're in trouble, aren't you? Are you going to call this?
Well,
This is a really difficult one for you.
the only problem here is because we're on the bubble. Any other time, this is instant call.
If you
Absolute
fold
instant
this,
call.
okay, that's tough. I wouldn't have laid that down.
No,
That's a
it's-
very tough one for
Yeah,
you.
it's unlucky, but I mean, I could have folded it, seeing as Scarface, I think his name, was short, and therefore I could have ground into the money, just let Welbeck take him out. As it was,
That is you done.
You
You,
know.
needed that 7 on the end for the straight, but
How much,
well bet with the full house. Unlucky, sir. Colin, what would you like to say,
Well, I was
sir?
just going to ask James, how much money do you win for coming in fourth in one of these?
Colin is such a tool.
It's a round figure, and it's 0, I think, folks.
I call.
Well, Scarface has made his move, and Welbeck's gone for the call. Why not? She can afford it, and she's hit. Here we go. Not anymore. Scarface on the turn with the nuts.
So, but a little bit more seriously, James, when you're on the bubble like that in a sit and go, four-handed, and you pointed out you had the other option to try to grind it out.
Yep.
Is there any math that you can do in your head to compare your stack with the blinds and with everything else to help you decide whether it's better to grind it out to the bubble or continue going for
It
the
really
win?
depends if you just want to go first or not. If this was going to be the World Series main event and the payout was going to be a couple of million for grinding up the spots, then I think you've got to be pretty stupid to want to risk it. Whereas this, for me, was a fairly small buy-in tournament. Therefore, I really only wanted to take the pride of coming first.
Yeah.
So therefore, if I just grind my way into third, it's not really going to help me.
So you're going to take your chances, hope you're up against
Yeah.
Ace King kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She'll be pushing a
fair
lot of
enough.
hands there because she knows I'm only attacking him.
And this is it, really, isn't it, folks? I mean, it's Bane, who's been absent without leave for a change, just been blinded out, and up against Welbeck with a premium hand, and she's hit. Bane, he's a 5, nada. That is it, folks. Welbeck takes it, dude. I mean, congrats.
Hey!
She's live, she's sexy, she's dark and mysterious, and she's also a winner here on PKR. What a game.
It was great. It was nice that we got a comeback from the first sit and go where we all lost to the one non-pro. it's nice that we came top 4, which was good.
Yeah, that is a really good showing.
Yeah.
3 pros, they finish in the top 4, which is great stuff. And also, Bane, I got to credit the dude. He got disconnected for like 2 hours of a 5-hour tournament, and he still finishes in 2nd place.
Yeah, maybe it's that aggressive image that people still didn't want to steal his blinds, even though they knew he was gone. You know,
What's it like for you sitting in this studio and you kind of see your play? Kind of, do you think, oh God, I was awful there, or that was okay?
It's really nice to see because obviously you don't get to see the other person's cards most of the time when you're playing poker with them. It's actually really good to sit back and think, oh, you know what, I made the right move there, or well, I didn't make the right move knowing the hands, but I'm still happy with how I played. Yeah. Or, oh, I played that one really bad. Why didn't I just get it in there or something? Yeah. So it's really nice to look back on it.
And also, what's good for me as a commentator is to watch a match like that and know that, in my honest opinion, the best player came through. I mean, on another day, it's you. On another day, well, one day in a million, it's me. But on this particular occasion, there's no doubt at all that Sophia Welbet was the best player there.
Yeah, everyone was saying after that, oh, she ran good. She got, threes and queens and hit. Yeah, she got lucky in one hand.
Yeah.
But all the other hands that she just outplayed people with, she outplayed me, she outplayed Bane, she outplayed so many people off hands,
Yeah.
That's a winning player.
Yeah, and also just absolutely no fear, not just outplaying, but outplaying, by shoving a shotgun full in their face and pushing those chips over the line. I love that girl's style.
Yep.
It's really something to behold. And you were saying, a different style than most other girls these days.
Yeah, well, most women, it's not sexist in the slightest. The whole stereotype of women being passive and tight is true because most of them are. It's just the way they play.
That's right.
We've got very few women in the poker world as is. So it's nice to have one that actually combats that and is really aggressive.
Yes. Aren't women wonderful? And
Love
they're
them.
excellent drivers too. Good stuff. James, it's been marvellous to have you here.
Pleasure.
It's been wonderful having you at home watching. Until the next time, we'll see you later, I guess. See you later.